Here's something most of us never really stop to think about. We live in a world obsessed with measuring intelligence. School grades, standardized tests, job performance reviews, and somewhere inside all of that, we quietly sort people into categories. Smart, average, slow. But what does psychology actually tell us about people at the extreme lower end of the IQ spectrum? Because the answer might completely reshape the way you think about human cognition itself. Today, we're diving into the psychology of extremely low IQ, what it really means neurologically, how the brain experiences the world differently, and why understanding this reveals something surprising about intelligence in general. Let's start with the basics. IQ, or intelligence quotient, measures cognitive abilities like reasoning, problem solving, and processing speed. The average score sits at 100. Psychologists typically classify an IQ below 70 as an intellectual disability, and when you get below 40 or 50, that's considered severe or profound cognitive impairment. But here's where it gets genuinely fascinating. An extremely low IQ doesn't mean an absence of intelligence. What it describes is a fundamentally different cognitive architecture. The brain isn't broken, it's organized differently. And understanding how it works tells us a lot about what we even mean when we use the word intelligence. Think about the prefrontal cortex for a moment. That's about the region of the brain responsible for abstract reasoning, future planning, and complex decision-making in individuals with very low IQ.
Research consistently shows reduced connectivity in this area, and slower neural processing speeds, tasks that most adults handle automatically understanding.
Cause and effect, anticipating consequences, navigating unspoken social rules require significantly more cognitive effort. In some cases, those abilities don't fully develop at all. And yet, here's the paradox that cognitive psychologists find deeply interesting. Many individuals with profoundly low IQ demonstrate strong emotional sensitivity, reliable procedural memory, and a real capacity to learn through repetition and routine. Their world isn't built around abstract thought. It's grounded in direct, concrete experience, immediate sensations, emotional connections, familiar patterns. And within that world, many of them function with remarkable consistency and coherence. Now here's something worth sitting with for a moment. How? Much of what we call intelligence is actually just adaptation to a very specific kind of environment. Psychologist Howard Gardner famously challenged the idea of a single intelligence, arguing instead for multiple forms. IQ tests were designed to predict academic performance, not human worth, not emotional depth, not the capacity for genuine connection. And this distinction matters more than most people realize. Research in behavioral psychology consistently shows that individuals with extremely low IQ are far more emotionally perceptive than commonly assumed. Studies on social attachment in this population reveal strong, meaningful bonds, loyalty, affection, and a deep responsiveness to the tone of voice and emotional warmth. That's because the emotional brain, the limbic system, operates largely independently from abstract reasoning, and in many cases it operates with real richness. So what's the actual correlate? Psychological takeaway here. When we examine extremely low IQ through a modern psychological lens, it challenges some of our most deeply held assumptions. Intelligence, as we typically define, it is really just one dimension of a far more complex human system. The brain is always adapting, always finding ways to process, connect, and make meaning within its own unique architecture. And maybe the most thought-provoking insight is this: the experiences we most associate with being human, love, loyalty, fear, joy, its connection, those don't live in the prefrontal cortex. They live much deeper in regions of the brain that no IQ test was ever designed to reach. Understanding that doesn't just change how we see low IQ. It changes how we understand intelligence itself.
이게 가져왔다 가디. 원더미 이념이야.